Howdy, in this video I want to show you 5 important criteria that you can give your classmates guidance on when you provide feedback on their blog posts. And the way I'm going to do that is by looking at a post that I liked from our last discussion on the film Devil Wears Prada and Ken Bain. And by showing you 5 things I liked about that post, I'll be helping you develop criteria you can apply and share with your classmates. So this is the post that I'm going to be sharing with you over this slideshow, and you can find it right now at the top of the blog at writetothink.com. And in it, Jessica, our writer, explores the idea of an adaptive expert from Bain by using a scene from The Devil Wears Prada. And that brings us to the first reason that I like Jessica's post. She answers the guiding question immediately. The whole post is about being an adaptive expert and how that's manifested in the particular scene she looks at. And she really sums it up directly in one specific sentence. So looking at her post, we can see in the second half of the post, Jessica formally introduces the idea of adaptive experts. We see that right there. But then later, she really kind of gets that one sentence that nails it, where she talks about how Andy, even though she doesn't love fashion, becomes an adaptive expert, adjusts to her situation, and excels because of that. And I think that's Jessica's point about how this scene from Devil Wears Prada manifests, demonstrates, exemplifies Bain's idea of the adaptive expert. The other thing I really like about Jessica's post is that she focuses on one scene. In this case, the scene she focuses on is the one where Andy helps Miranda out at the charity auction by having memorized all the names of the guests. So in a way that Emily has not mastered. And that sort of allows Andy to shine. So she adapts to her situation, learns a strategy that will work for her, and that kind of underscores her adaptability, and adaptability that Emily, mostly because she's sick and out of it, can't adjust to or match. So I think that's an interesting analysis by Jessica. Whether we agree or disagree doesn't matter. The point is that Jessica focuses her discussion on one specific scene from the movie. And that was something a lot of us struggled to, or we took too long to get to that specific scene in the movie. And one of the things that's really strong about Jessica's post is how she gets right to the scene. So we can see right here how Jessica spends a sentence or two introducing the movie, telling us who Andy Sachs is, telling us what's going on, but already by the 4th sentence, she's into the scene. So she moves very quickly. She doesn't sum up the whole movie. She moves very quickly, giving us only the information we need, and that gets us to the specific scene. That's a really strong approach for this blog post. While we're here looking at the post, the next thing I want to talk about is what a cool image this is. And I think that it's really important when you think of an image to think not of something that just reminds the reader of the text you're talking about, in this case, The Devil Wears Prada, but a photo that actually captures the idea you're talking about. And that's what I really like about Jessica's image. It represents her idea. It's not a picture from The Devil Wears Prada, which is our text. It's not even a picture from Bain, per se, or that text. It's about her idea that adaptive experts excel in the business world, in the work world. And I think the image is really fun. It symbolically represents her idea. And I think that these kind of symbolic images can be really powerful in a blog post. A 4th reason I really like Jessica's post is that her links are both creative and thoughtful. We're not falling into the IMDb or Wikipedia easy search that any reader could do on their own. We're being a little playful in some of them, and we're being thoughtful in others that allow us to dig in deeply. Let's take a quick look at a few of her links. So some of Jessica's links are just kind of playful. For example, the link to the charity benefit just takes us to a charity benefit auction site. But it's kind of fun because the site captures And we can't really see it. It's not letting me scroll down. But some of the imagery, oh, there you go. Some of the imagery and elegance of these type of events, which jives with how it's presented in the film. Another link, though, that takes a less playful approach and takes us somewhere more substantive is the first time we get that word adaptive experts, we're given a link to a site that gives us some more, that goes beyond the basic term and elaborates on it and explains it. I particularly love this really cool chart here about adaptive experts and the actions adaptive experts can take. So I really feel that these links move us beyond Wikipedia and the simple connections. And in the case of the first link, take us somewhere playful. And in the there we go. And in the case of the second link, take us someplace thoughtful. So they really model the kinds of things we can do with links that can be powerful on a blog. Finally, my fifth reason for liking Jessica's video, and a fifth criteria I think you can help your classmates with, is that her video extends the conversation in her posts. It takes the reader, viewer somewhere where they can go to learn more or learn about things in a new and different way. I think the Brendan Burchard video she finds is really kind of interesting. He strikes me as a little bit of a huckster with his whole don't stop, learn what you need approach, but he clearly is applying the idea of adaptive expertise without using the term. And as I watched the video, the more I watched it, the more amazed I was at how it really was a perfect example of what adaptive expert means.
I believe there's a huge difference in the way that successful people and unsuccessful people think. And I believe that success itself is not some big mystery that people haven't figured out before, even though when we are struggling and we're fighting and we're just trying to make it through day by day and get better and better and better, it can feel like this arduous, unknowable process, but success has been figured out. And
boy, I think Ken Bain couldn't have said it better. So now that we've talked about Jessica's post and how she connected Bain to The Devil Wears Prada, I'd like you to go back and look at the same criteria that I've talked about in this slideshow. Help your classmate. Does your classmate's post answer the guiding question? Does your classmate's post focus on one scene? Does your classmate have an image that supports the writer's idea? The writer being the classmate who wrote the post. Are the links creative and thoughtful? And a fifth one, which I neglected to put on this slide, does the video extend the conversation? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you go, woohoo, tell your classmate they rock and everything's rolling and they look really good. But if in one or more of these areas that's not happening, maybe make some suggestions about how your classmate could do that more strongly. Maybe help them find a cool site. Maybe do a Google search and try to find a better image for them, or a cooler video, or give them some guidance on how to get more quickly to their scene, or help them realize they don't really have one sentence that sums up their answer to the guiding question, something that makes it easy for the reader to see the big point. So these are the things I'd like you to do as you look at each other's blog posts this week and beyond. And I hope this video helps you with that. Feel free to replay it, slow it down, and use parts of it as you work. Thanks for your time. Bye.